Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Gabrielle Union. A career built on courage, craft, and constant reinvention. Gabrielle Union has been a fixture in Hollywood for more than 2 decades. But what makes her stand out isn't just her resume. It's the way she keeps evolving in public, sharpening her voice while widening her impact. Union first broke through in the late 1990s and early 2000s with scene-stealing roles in films like Bring It On, Bad Boys 2, and Deliver Us From Eva. She brought a mix of intelligence, comedic timing, and poise that made her instantly recognizable. But she didn't settle into the tidy boxes Hollywood tends to offer black actresses. Instead, she stepped into more layered roles across film and television, eventually becoming an executive producer and creative force behind projects like Being Mary Jane, where she delivered one of the most nuanced performances of her career. As her platform grew, Union became known for her candor. She has spoken openly about surviving sexual assault, experiencing fertility challenges, navigating blended family dynamics, and confronting industry discrimination. That vulnerability turned her into a resonant voice in conversations about equity, mental health, and bodily autonomy. She doesn't posture, she tells the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Union's activism expands beyond her own lived experience. Alongside her husband, Dwayne Wade, she has been a vocal supporter of LGBTQ+ rights, particularly in advocating for and protecting trans youth. She also champions broader racial and gender equity reforms in Hollywood, frequently calling out systems that keep progress slow. Despite the gravity of her advocacy, Union has kept her sense of humor and delight. Her social media presence is equal parts glamorous and grounded. She shares behind-the-scenes work moments, chaotic family snapshots, and the occasional runway-level outfit for good measure. Today, Gabrielle Union occupies a rare space. She's a star with staying power and a cultural figure with purpose. Her career isn't defined by the roles she's taken but by the choices she's made, to speak up, to expand, and to let herself be seen fully. It's that blend of artistry and bravery that keeps her relevant, admired, and, honestly, pretty iconic. Gabrielle Union. A career built on courage, craft, and constant reinvention. Gabrielle Union has been a steady, unmistakable presence in entertainment for more than 20 years. But longevity alone doesn't explain her influence. What sets her apart is the way she constantly redefines herself while remaining deeply, unmistakably human. She's built a career not on being flawless but on being fearless. From Omaha to Hollywood, an unexpected path. Union grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, in a household that stressed discipline, education, and self-advocacy. She didn't arrive in Hollywood with dreams of stardom. In fact, she originally planned to go to law school. Modeling and acting came later, almost by accident. And even after booking early roles on sitcoms in the 90s, she treated acting like a job she needed to earn every single day. That practicality became one of her sharpest tools. Union didn't have the luxury of coasting. She built her career methodically, studying scripts, refining her comedic timing, and showing up prepared. When she booked her breakout role in 2000's Bring It On, she didn't just play the part of Isis, the poised and commanding cheer captain. She injected the character with realism and cultural awareness that reshaped how young black girls saw themselves on screen. A body of work with unexpected range. Union's filmography tends to get summarized by her early 2000s hits, but her range is broader than people realize. She can pivot from comedy to drama without losing rhythm, from romantic lead to gritty protagonist without losing presence. Her performance in Being Mary Jane remains a career-defining high point. The series gave her room to explore the complexities of a woman who is simultaneously ambitious, flawed, tender, and self-destructive. Union didn't just act the role. She helped shape the show's creative direction as an executive producer, proving she understood storytelling from both sides of the camera. In recent years, she's embraced more behind-the-scenes power, producing films that center Black women and underrepresented communities. She's vocal about fighting for equitable pay, inclusive crews, and meaningful representation, not just performative gestures. A public voice that actually risks something. Union's candor is not the soft, brand-friendly kind. She has spoken about her experiences with sexual assault and the aftermath, not as a rehearsed talking point but as part of her truth. She's opened up about infertility and surrogacy, rejecting the shame and secrecy often attached to reproductive struggles. She has also confronted workplace abuse head-on, most publicly during her tenure on America's Got Talent, where she raised concerns about racism, inappropriate behavior, and a culture of fear. Speaking out against a major network and production machine could have cost her professionally. But Union didn't waver. That moment reshaped public conversations about how the industry treats women of color, especially those who refuse to stay quiet. Family, advocacy, and a wider cultural impact. Union's advocacy is intertwined with her role as a parent. She and Dwayne Wade have been outspoken supporters of LGBTQ+ rights, particularly in championing their daughter Zaya. They've navigated that path publicly, not to seek praise but to normalize family acceptance and push back against the hostility aimed at queer and trans youth. Union also runs businesses, authors best-selling books, and invests in companies that uplift communities of color. She chooses projects with intention, partners with organizations that tackle real inequities, and uses her platform to amplify voices that don't get heard enough. The legacy she's building in real time. Some celebrities build mystique by remaining distant. Gabrielle Union does the opposite. She's visible, present, almost disarmingly honest. She shares career wins, motherhood mishaps, beauty routines, and the occasional poolside flex with equal energy. She does not pretend to have everything figured out, which is part of her charm. Union's legacy isn't just about the films or the red carpets. It's about the example she sets. A woman who refuses to shrink, who grows publicly, and who insists on pushing the culture forward while lifting others with her. She is a reminder that reinvention isn't a phase, it's a practice. And Gabrielle Union practices it with courage, craft, humor, and a sense of purpose that keeps resonating long after the credits roll. Owning her narrative in an industry that loves to shape it for you. One of the sharpest things about Gabrielle Union is how she refuses to let Hollywood decide who she is. Early in her career, she noticed she was getting cast as polished but interchangeable characters: the pretty friend, the put-together professional, the love interest with minimal backstory. Instead of accepting that lane, she started pushing for characters with texture and contradictions. She fought for lines to be rewritten so her characters sounded more like real women. She challenged stereotypes. She advocated for nuance in places the industry tended to flatten. Union also learned quickly that if she didn't shape her own story, someone else would. That awareness is part of what led her to writing her memoir We're Going to Need More Wine. Landed with an impact because she didn't shy away from anything. She wrote about trauma, colorism, identity, marriage, motherhood, and joy. The vulnerability wasn't performative. It felt like someone cracking open a window, not standing on a stage. Her follow-up book, You Got Anything Stronger?, layered in even more candor, particularly around the emotional realities of surrogacy and the pressure to maintain privacy while living a public life. Both books shifted how celebrities talk about their personal struggles. Union made it acceptable to show the seams. Her role in shaping black women's visibility on screen. One reason Union is so respected is because she's been part of a generation of black actresses who had to carve out their own space. She came up alongside peers like Regina King, Nia Long, Taraji P. Henson, and Sanaa Lathan during an era when Hollywood insisted there was room for maybe one or two black women at a time. Union has been open about the way competition was imposed on them. Instead of giving in, she worked to build community. She celebrates other actresses' wins. She helps open doors for newer talent. She has become one of the go-to voices on how representation has to go beyond casting. Writers, directors, costumers, and producers matter just as much. That commitment to systemic change is part of why she invests in production companies and emerging creators. When she talks about representation, she isn't speaking in slogans. She's talking about pipelines, budgets, executive decisions, and the people who get to call the shots. The fashion and beauty influence that sneaks up on you. Union isn't flashy for the sake of spectacle, but she has become a quiet style icon. She mixes structured elegance with playful, unexpected details. Her red carpet looks tend to land because they feel like her, not like a committee decision. She'll wear a neon gown one day and an understated, tailored suit the next. Always with the same self-assured ease. In beauty, she has championed textured hair long before the industry adapted. Her natural hairstyles on red carpets help shift the conversation about black women's hair in mainstream spaces. Her hair care line, Flawless, was built with accessibility in mind and created specifically for black hair textures, not as an afterthought. She doesn't treat beauty as vanity. She treats it as expression.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.